بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى أهل بيت الطاهرين الطيبين وعلى أصحابه الكريم ومن تبعهم إلى يوم الدين. Ameen. So today we'll be going over the Tafsir of Ibn Juzay, Andalusian scholar, passed away 1340 Mawladi or 741 Hijri. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat or put them in the chat or message, and then I'll get back to you for the next session, inshallah. We'll have these in the mornings and the evenings. Around 11 a.m. for the mornings, and then the evenings like 2, 3, 4 a.m. depending on the availability of people. So, before we begin, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens the doors for us this month of Ramadan and gets us close to Him and His book, the Quran al-Kareem, and close to His beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and allows us to benefit, build up on good deeds, get the maghfirah and the rahmah and the mercy and the forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and emancipation from the fire, freeze from the fire. Ya Rabbi. And when we have accepted fast, accepted worship. So, before we begin, we'll send 3 Fatihas, one on our beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam, next on the scholars, line of scholars starting with the Sahaba, and those who they taught, those who taught us, those are how we got the knowledge. And lastly, we can send a Fatiha for the scholar Ibn Juzay that will be reading his tafsir, or your parents, your family, your loved ones. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين Bismillah. So we begin. قال المصنف ابن جزي رحمه الله تعالى ونفعنا بعلومه في الدارين الذين آمين. Ya Allah, please bless the author and let us benefit from his knowledge in this world and the next. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا. So, and I can send out the PDF of this of an earlier edition. For those interested in Arabic. Surah Naba. So we say Makiyya wa ayatuha arba'un nazalat بعد المعراج معارج. Sorry. So there's 40 ayahs. It's Makiyya surah and came after Mu'arij. I'm not sure about the pronunciation of that one actually. There's no harakat here, just to be honest. Surah Naba عما يتساءلون. أصل عام عن ما ثم إدغمت النون في الميم وحذفت ألف ما لأنها استفهامية. So we say the origin of amma is an, preposition or an is like, you know, from or about or concerning, and ma mim alif is like that which has many different meanings. But here they are combined together, and then the noon and an goes into the meme of ma. So an, amma, and then we delete the alif. So it's not amma, it's amma. And we're saying here it's a question. استفهامية. تقديرها عن أي شيء يتساءلون. So it's sort of like when you read عما يتساءلون, you read in your head or you understand عن أي شيء يتساءلون. So you read, but you kind of insert in between, like, what is it? Like, about what thing, عن أي شيء يتساءلون. About what thing are they discussing amongst themselves? وليس المراد بها هنا مجرد الاستفهام وإنما المراد تفخيم الأمر. So it's not only istifham, it's not only questioning, but there's sort of like an emphasizing about the point. I've heard from, you know, Nu'man Ali Khan saying on this ayah, drawing from the tafsirs he draws from, that's sort of someone like, really? You know, half of it is a question, but half of it is expressing the emotional thing behind it, and that's in here in عما يتساءلون. والضمير في يتساءلون لكفار قريش أو لجميع الناس ومعناه يسأل بعضهم بعضا. So we say the damir, or the pronoun, or the person who's actually doing this questioning, who are they? And we say it either refers specifically to the kuffar of Quraysh, or it's just, you know, generally all the people. And they're discussing amongst themselves, part of them, so another part of them, about to whom they bow. عن النبأ العظيم هو ما جاءت به الشريعة من التوحيد والبعث والجزاء وغير ذلك. So we say the Naba al-Adim itself is what has come, like, of the you know, Sharia min al-Tawheed, so the Sharia of Tawheed, and Ba'ath, like Yawm al-Qiyamah, the resurrection, Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, Jaza'a, the like compensation, as in, you know, there'll be a mizan, there'll be a weighing of deeds, there'll be a good place to go, inshallah. May Allah grant us that rank, and a bad place to go, may Allah protect us from there. And things other than this. ويتعلق عن النبأ بفعل محذوف يفسره الظاهر تقديره يتساءلون عن النبأ. ووقعت هذه الجملة جوابا عن الاستفهام وبيانا للمسؤول عنه كأنه لما قال عما يتساءلون أجاب فقال يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم. So we say the fi'l or the verb attached to the an in the second ayah, عن النبأ العظيم, right? It's just kind of like, it's just saying, like, more or less in English, about the great news, roughly, you know, which may mean. But about the great news in itself is not a complete sentence. So we say about there is attached to a verb, a fi'l that is deleted, and that you can kind of like read in between the lines that it's an answer to the previous question, as if someone were to say, "What are they talking about?" They are talking about Naba al-Azim, which could be, we say, is like the Sharia or Tawheed or Yom al-Qiyamah and stuff like that. وقيل, another opinion, يتعلق عن النبأ بيتساءلون الظاهر والمعنى على هذه بأي شيء يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم. So then the other way you could put them is you say that actually it's connected to the previous ayah. So the two ayah are kind of like a continuum of the first question. As opposed to a question and answer, it's one question. You could say, as if to say, what are they talking about? The great news? And the other opinion we said was, what are they talking about? The great news, as the answer. That's the jawab. والأول أفصح وأبرع وينبغي على ذلك أن يوقف على قوله عما يتساءلون. So this author says that the first meaning is better. So a more clear, more appropriate. So that's why he says it's better to stop on the first ayah as opposed to continuing on the second ayah. If one were to stop, عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ, it's more clear the meaning of a question and an answer. Whereas if read together, عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ, it might come off more as one question. And he says that is less eloquent. Okay. الذي هم فيه مختلفون. So, and I guess I'll pull from the Sahih International translation for right now. So, first ayah, about what are they asking one another? 2, about the great news. 3, that which they are in disagreement. الذي هم فيه مختلفون. إن كان الضمير في يتساءلون لكفار قريش في اختلافهم أن منهم من يقطع بالتكذيب ومنهم من الشك، أو يكون اختلافهم قول قول بعضهم سحر قول بعضهم شعر وكاهنة كهانة وغير ذلك. So going back to the عما يتساءلون, if we say the يتساءلون, the people who are asking and discussing amongst themselves, are connected to the kuffar of Quraysh, then their disagreement is that some of them are certain or very strongly asserting their denial. You know, like contrary to reality, you know, and that's some of them are actually doubtful. Some of them are like, wait, well, like maybe it is true, you know. So that's in the way that their disagreement. Like, if one can imagine them in a group and one of them like kind of asking honestly, like, hey, like, is it true? And then one more aggressively asserting, like, in denial. And we know, like, you know, alhamdulillah, many of the Quraysh ended up accepting Islam, so it's beautiful. And actually, I'll continue here. Or their difference is in like what they're saying, where some of them say, you know, now we live in that like this sihr, like this is magic, like this is fake, this is illusions, or that it's poetry, you know, it's just a really smart person or so, or kahina, or yeah, kahana, like a monk, or like divination, or like connected to jinn. And what's very interesting is that, alhamdulillah, it's the Quran itself, and this is from our brother Imam Isa Wood, with the Furqan Foundation. He's doing like a series. And he mentions how like the Quran equips ones with all the tools needed to dispel all these attacks that come on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And even in the age of in the modern age, when we have Orientalists in the 1950s or earlier or later come with attacks, they're always actually can be broken down into these same veins and can be dispelled in similar ways. So that's something very beautiful and timeless. وإن كان الضمير لجميع الناس في اختلافهم أن منهم المؤمن والكافر. So if it's just a general group of people, then their difference is that some of them are mu'min, some of them are kafir, and they're discussing in that way about the reality of the news of the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Islam. Alhamdulillah that we have received it. كلا سيعلمون. So it's ردع وتحديد ثم قرره بالتأكيد. So we say it's a sort of a deterrence, كلا, like checking someone, stopping someone, and tahdid, it's like a threat, and then it gets repeated for emphasis. And so these are ayahs 4 and 5. No, they are going to know. Then no, they are going to know, according to Sahih International. Okay. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا أي فراشا. So, you know, okay, English. Have we not made the earth as a resting place? And so here the commentator says, the Mufassir says, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, that mihada is like, meaning like mattress, sarir, bed, firasha. وإنما ذكر الله تعالى هنا هذه المخلوقات على جهة التوقيف ليقيم الحجة على الكافر فيما أنكروه من البعث، كأنه يقول إن الإله الذي قدر على خلقة هذه المخلوقات العظام قادر على إحياء الناس بعد موتهم. So we say Allah brings forth this example after painting us this picture of people in disagreement with each other, checks them, threatens them, kind of like calm down, and redirects and the focus on the makhluqat, on like created things, in order to establish a proof, to stop their questioning, because they could keep going on this questioning, and stop their questioning because they're already denying, in a state of denial, about, for example, resurrection. So to stop that line of thinking, that questioning, we bring them to look at the things that are already in existence, creation, and their majesty. One second. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So it's if to say, to get them to start thinking, for us to realize, if al-ilah, the one God who willed for the creation of all of these amazing, majestic things, and he has the ability to revive the people after they die. It's pretty strong proof, actually, inshallah. Rather than getting into this whole, debate about that, start with what we all can see and hold to be true and build from there. ويحتمل أنه ذكرها حجة على توحيد لأن الذي خلق هذه المخلوقات هو إله وحده لا شريك له. And you could say, not a hujjah towards proving Yawm al-Qiyam or proving resurrections, but as a hujjah or a proof towards Tawheed in itself. Because the one who created all these amazing things, like who created them, that question has to be answered. Whoever did that, that is Alillah. That is the Wahdaha la Sharika lah, which has no partners. Another strong proof. Things have to come from somewhere. It's a logical fallacy for something to cause itself to be created. وَالْجِبَالَ أَوْتَادًا, Sahih International says, and the mountains as stakes. شبهها بالأوتاد لأنها تمسك الأرض إن تميل. So the mountains resemble the autad or the stakes in that when it shakes, it looks, they're like grabbing onto the earth. I suppose we would slip and slide. There's an earthquake, the mountain is really there, like a stake. وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. Should we say? As we created you in pairs. أي من زوجين ذكرا وأنثى. ذكران, yeah. So, meaning we created you in pairs as in male and female. وقيل معناه أنواعا في ألوانكم وصوركم وألسنتكم. ألسنتكم, yeah. صوركم. Okay. And some say the meaning is actually when we created you in pairs or different types, meaning we created you in different types of colors and forms and shapes and languages as well. وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا, and we made your sleep a means for rest. أي راحة راحة لكم. وقيل معناه قطعا للأعمال وتصرف or تصرف. I'm not sure actually. والسبت القطع. وقيل معناه موتا لأن النوم هو الموت الصغير. ومنه قوله تعالى الله يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم في تموت منامها. So we say here وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا. We can have a discussion about subata. What is subat? And so here we say it's raha. Raha is like a rest. So we have the words like tarawih comes from this same root because you're supposed to take the breaks in between the rakatain or 4 rakah or so. Take a breather. You keep going. Raha. So we're saying that they made the naum or sleep a source of rest for us, covered. Or some say وَقِيلَ مَعْنَاهُ قَطْعًا لِلْأَعْمَالِ. So they say it's a cutting off of deeds actually. Because وَسَبْتْ قَطْع الْقَطْع. Because they're saying, when you get to the root of the word sept, it has to do with getting cut off. And I've heard Numan Ali Khan have a discussion about Yom al-Sept, or Saturday or Sabbath, and how the Jewish peoples are, they don't do work on that day. So it's kind of like, again, cutting off. وَقِيلَ مَعْنَاهُ مَوْتًا. So they say Subatan actually means motan, that like the sleep is a death. Because we know, or that sleep is sort of a small death. And we have the ayah from Surah Zumar, ayah 42. Allah yatawaffa al-anfus hina mawtiha wallati lam fi tamut manamiha. Sort of, let me pull up that also from Sahih International. Allah takes the souls at the time of their death, and those that do not die, He takes during their sleep. Then He keeps those for which He has decreed death and releases the others for a specified time. Indeed, in that are signs for people who get thought. It's always nice when the highest level of tafsir, when you get the Quran to explain other parts of the Quran. Okay. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا, which we say, according to Sahih International, and made the night as clothing. شبه بثياب التي تلبس لأنه ستر عن العيون. So the night resembles the clothing, robes, dressing, clothing, in the way that clothes that you wear, because it's a curtain for the eyes. So clothing prevents eyes seeing, and the night also kind of is the same thing. Dresses to dress over the things and cuts off vision. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا, and made the day for livelihood. There's sort of a discussion here. أي تطلب فيه المعيشة وهو على حذف مضاف تقديره ذا معاش. So even in the English translation it said like may the day for livelihood. So they're saying even kind of like you would have expected the ma'ash, but we got ma'ash by itself. So it's kind of like the mudaf is assumed in your head. Taqdeer or taqdeer. وقال الزمخشري being wrote a big tafsir people love to quote from. معناه يعيش يعاش فيه فجعله بمعنى الحياة في مقابلة الثبات الذي بمعنى الموت. So Zamakhshari says, sort of, affirming the subata earlier, as death, and then this is coming in as a opposite of life, living, as opposed to livelihood and risk, but the actual living. Yeah. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا, and constructed above you 7 strong heavens, through brackets. يعني السماوات, heavens. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. Sahih International says, and made therein a burning lamp. يعني الشمس. Talk about the sun. والوهاج الوقاد الشديد الإضاءة. So we say the wahaj is sort of the flaming lights in their intense illumination. Sorry, not lights. The flaming illumination, very intense, that comes from the sun. وقيل الحار الذي يضطرم من شدة لهبه. Or so they say. So some say the wahaj is the intense illumination from the sun and from the flames. And others say it's the heat from the intense burning. وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا. And sent, Sahih International says, and sent down from the rain clouds pouring water. So we have here, so يعني المطر, yes, so rain. We're talking about rain here. والمعصرات هي السحاب وهو مأخوذ من العصر لأن أصحابي ينعصر فينزل منه الماء. Oh, yeah. So there. So we say one origin of the. So we say the mu'tsirat are clouds, and it's taken from the word asr, which means like squeezing like this, just like shh. What tau? It's from Nuwan Ali Khan on his tafsir of Surah Al-Asr. Talks about in Arabic is asira is juice, because you're like shh, squeezing juice, and Salat al-Asr comes in the day is being squeezed out near the end of the day. So we're saying here the mu'tsirat comes from that origin of Asr, because the clouds, when you squeeze them, the rain comes down. Oh, min al-usra, ayn sad ra tamarbut, with the number on the ayn. بمعنى الإغاثة. So that root has a meaning of إغاثة, of relief or aid or intervention. So if you ever heard someone say istighatha, it's like when you, anyway, it comes from that. Intervention, aid, seeking help. So the mu'tsirat, still the clouds, but the origin of it being like they're helpful. SubhanAllah. The rain can really be a mercy. MashaAllah. وَقِيلَ هِيَ السَّمَاوَاتُ. Some say the mu'tsirat are the skies, the heavens themselves. وَقِيلَ الرِّيَاحُ. And some say it's the winds. وَالثَّجَّاجُ السَّرِيعُ الِاندِفَاعِ. So they say the thijaj is the very rapid gushing, bursting, flowing. It's the thijaj. لنخرج به حبا ونباتا, we say, that we may bring forth thereby grain and vegetation. So we say الحب, we say هو القميح والشعير وسائر الحبوب, والنبات هو العشب. So yeah, we're saying the hab is wheat and barley and all the other habub, like all the other grain seeds. And the nabat we say is ushub, or grasses or vegetation, herbs. وَجَنَّاتٍ أَلْفَافًا, and gardens of entwined growth. A ملتفة, وهو جمع لفة بضم اللام وقيل بالكسر وقيل لا وحد له. So they're saying Alfafa comes from multafa, which again is going to intertwisting thing. And then there's a discussion about if the root is luffa with dhamma on the lam, or liffa with kasra, or other than that. And then the next ayah, Inna yawm al-fasli kana miqata. So here we're saying a fi waqt ma'lum. So we're saying that the yawm al-fasl. Oh, sorry. Yeah, indeed, the day of judgment is an appointed time. It is an appointed time. Okay, cool. But yes, and here we're saying it's in an appointed time. Fi waqt ma'lum, a known time. يوم ينفخ في الصور. يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا. Say the day the horn is blown and you will come forth in multitudes. And we say here, يعني نفخة القيام من القبور. So rising from the graves is the blowing of the trumpet, of the horn. فَأْتُونَ أَفْوَاجًا, أي جماعات. People come out in groups in جماعات. وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا. And small note that in it's فتحت in the qira'ah of Asim, Hamza, and Kisa'i, while in the rest of them it's with the shadda. So then other recitations, وفتحت, as opposed to فتحت. Just adding some dimensions. So, and it's a footnote here. A تنفخ فتكون فيها شقاق كالأبواب. Yes. So they'll be bursted open like doors, destroyed. Shaqaq. Let me just check one thing very quickly, actually. Disunity, dissension, khilaf, partition, split. It'll be split, like doors. Yeah, the skies. Like the وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا. The mountains are removed and will be but a mirage. So yes, وسيرت الجبال a حملت. فكانت سرابا عبارة عن تلاشيها وفنائها، وسراب في لغة ما يظهر على البعض أنه ما، وليس ذلك المراد هنا، وإنما هو تشبيه في أنه لا شيء. So this will be our last time, inshallah. But just this is text talking about the annihilation structure. Yeah. And the sarab, they're saying linguistically, has to do with the water, but that's far away from the meaning here, because what we're trying to say is that their similarity is that it's like nothing. And so that's how we get the dictionaries online say mirage, and the translation says mirage, because it's like. So, أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم. Ya Allah, we ask you to bless us and all of those who attended and intended to attend, and multiply us by the number of your creations, love for your beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we ask that you make understanding your instructions for us easy, and make us attached to you and your word and your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Allah, and please forgive me for any mistakes I've made here, and keep our intentions pure so that we may be accepted. سبحانك العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.